Welcome to the show, Kimberly Witt. Very excited to have you here. I understand you have some questions about podcasting. Let's go.
I was looking at our assignment that we have, and I'm glad that I reached out yesterday because I was a little concerned about if I was behind because I was like, am I the only one stuck on this one thing
You're not.
or and not on module one yet? D- Do you recommend skipping around and or I like to go in order, and I
Yeah.
kind of feel like that's the best concept is kind of like do things one by one so I don't jump
Yeah.
too far ahead or get lost in what we're doing because I know a lot of times professors, that's how they do it. Like start here and then work your way down.
We work to build the course. And honestly, this is true for almost all the courses that I teach.
Yeah.
Like start from the top and use it as a checklist and work from the
Okay.
top to the bottom. That being said,
Okay.
there is a lot of value in looking ahead without
Okay.
working ahead. So, like looking at
Okay.
where we're going so that you can say, oh, wait a second, I've got to do this, that, and I've got to create a media kit. So I need to be thinking about that all semester because, for example, if I don't make my videos public, I can't get that public watch data to then
Right.
have in my media kit.
So it's best to just finish the discussion assignment and work. And once I get okay, so I got can I show you? Is that
Yeah. The
cool?
the other thing, absolutely, share. Getting the surveys out a little bit earlier is a good priority because then people have time to
Okay.
do them and get them back. And that's one of the reasons I sent an announcement saying, hey, make sure you get that survey
Okay.
out because it takes time and
Yeah.
repetitions for people to see your survey because they might not see it the first time you put it on GroupMe, but they might
Right.
not see it the first time you put it on another channel or a social media channel. And it's hard to get
Okay.
survey answers. And that's one of the reasons we want to set up interviews early so that you have a much better data set to work with
Right.
whenever you start flushing out your audience persona. And the persona is not just your listener, but it's also your personal brand target audience. It's your
Right.
career target audience. It's whatever you want to
Right.
leverage your podcast to do.
The more I started brainstorming on it and using AI to help me brainstorm, I was like, I don't think I really know as much as I thought I did at all. I was like, but that's the whole point of this is
Yeah.
for people to reach an audience who enjoy what my podcast is going to be about that don't know anything about it and want to learn along the way. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to stick to it and it's going to be great.
Cool. And
Um,
and honestly, it's also about the process because a lot of times people will create something in podcasting course and then say, "Oh, wait a second, I want to pivot." But now since you've already done it, whenever you
yeah.
start again, it goes way easier.
Does this look accurate for my
Fantastic.
map? Okay, cool.
Looks exactly like the example. So
Okay,
you're
cool.
good. And the key is again the passion, mission, profession. You want to pick
Yeah,
something that you really are passionate about so you avoid
yeah,
burnout. You want to
right.
pick something that aligns with your purpose, which is mission. And then profession involves that target audience too, right? Something you can get paid
Yeah,
for, something that is
yeah,
marketable.
yeah. Okay, so I did that because I wanted to make sure that I was following that right, and I used the description that you put in the link of all the instructions.
Yeah,
Okay.
what's your podcast purpose pitch?
So my podcast purpose pitch is for my pitch statement is my podcast is gonna be called Sidelines with Kimberly. And it's a video podcast that serves casual and curious sports fans who want a fun, welcoming space to learn and talk sports by offering unfiltered fan conversations, my own honest learning approach, and lighthearted, curiosity-driven discussions with different guests. And its the benefit is to help listeners feel connected and confident and be reminded that passion matters and that you don't have to know everything to enjoy sports.
We can tell you worked hard on that because it's perfect. Yeah, you're hitting all
Okay.
those check boxes that I have in my head for a purpose
Okay.
pitch. So
Okay,
fantastic.
cool. And it's going to be focusing not only on major big schools, but also smaller schools also that don't get a lot of recognition in sports that do have national titles or championships that aren't always recognized.
I like how you're getting more narrow there because last time
Yeah.
we talked it was bigger and now you're like these small
Well,
schools matter.
I thought about it because last time we talked, I was talking about Washington College and how I'm very close with them. And I'm actually for my interview podcast, I'm gonna interview the head coach for the trap and skeet team. He's a good personal friend of mine. And I thought about it and I was like, because not only, and this is kind of where I want my podcast to go in, it's not just about the sports, but about the personal aspect that I'm putting towards it also. Because Doug has taken this program. So it started out trap and skeet started out as just a basic program, and he has turned it into an actual varsity sport for the college. And he's worked so hard over the years. Like he went to the college, he, shot for the team when he was in college there, and then became a coach and has turned it into an actual varsity sport and actually won their first national championship a couple years ago. So it's just, I think like like that to me, that's like really big. Like, and you don't get to hear a lot of that stuff. Like people focus on like football, baseball, things like that. So I thought
Absolutely.
that would be really awesome.
Yeah.
And then like the relationships you create and connect with the kids or the students, on the team and stuff like that. And you get to watch them grow, especially if they stay on for all 4 years.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So I was gonna put a little spotlight on that.
Very cool. And you have that
Yeah.
personal connection, which makes it more authentic and more
Yeah.
interesting because you have that personal interest.
And that's one of my main points with my podcast too, is I want to be understanding, connecting, and but also very authentic.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's about mixing personal with professional, right?
Yeah,
The
exactly.
personality, right?
Yes.
Your
Yes.
personality comes through as you're enacting
Yes.
a professional resume piece that can help
Yeah.
you with your sports broadcasting ambitions.
Exactly. And that's why, because it's like I don't want it to be the whole like this is for something that's not the regular major sports media lines. Like, it's all personal. It's like all just this is what they want you to put out there. This is a more personable, fun, relaxed, make mistakes along the way, ask the dumb questions, maybe say the dumb thing, and then correct
Yeah.
yourself. So yeah, or
Cool.
learn more. So I
Awesome.
just wanted to kind of make sure I was on the right track. And
Yeah.
then so I have to create a YouTube account.
So yes, you want to create a YouTube account, and that YouTube
Okay.
account is your method for getting data because a lot of our podcast channels, the analytics just aren't as good. You can't get the kind of deep data that you can on YouTube.
Hmm.
And because all podcasts should have a video component as a part of their marketing efforts.
Yeah, so
You have a Google
two
account?
I have two YouTube accounts.
Oh, cool. What are their
So
focuses?
well, one is just my account that I've had for like 15 years.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really have anything on it. Well, actually that's a lie. I posted my husband's promo video on it for his firearms company. But the other one I created when we had our podcast, when I was looking into starting video but didn't. So I never added anything to it. So I didn't know if I could use one of those or if I should create a whole new one for Sidelines with Kimberly.
The best advice is it's YouTube channels by audience. So you have a different audience in mind, you should create a different
Hmm.
channel. I don't follow
Okay.
this advice because I'm all over the place with my channel, but my
Right.
goal for my channel is to serve my students, and that's the audience. So it's a small audience. I don't have that many people in my classes, but I
Yeah.
have one audience there, even though I'm covering topics that I really should create other channels for. Like I should have a public
Yeah.
relations channel, a podcasting channel. That's how you should do it. So
Yeah,
do
but
what I say, not what I do here.
I kind of like the idea of having all in, like not having multiple. So maybe I'll
Yeah.
just use my main one and like get rid of what I have on there that is useless from however many years ago and just kind of use that.
The other thing to keep in mind is that sometimes YouTube favors new channels.
Oh, okay.
So if you that matters to you, then that's something to think
Okay.
about. And this is
Yeah.
one of those things, well, does it really matter? Because most people for their podcasts, they're getting
Yeah.
small audiences at first anyway.
Do
Unless
we
you're
need
really talented at editing and really talented at thumbnails design and really talented at YouTube skills and SEO
Mm,
and that kind of
no.
stuff. Okay. Well, and if you want to learn, this is a great place to do it, right?
Right. And do you recommend, because we'll have the YouTube, but do you recommend creating a email address like a Gmail for this as well?
Well, it depends on how ambitious you are for this project.
Okay.
To be honest, most people might take this podcast that they take in the course a little bit beyond the course, but usually
Hmm.
they'll stop because they have other priorities.
Right.
So, podcasting is a time intensive sport. It
Hmm.
takes a lot of time to produce a quality podcast.
Right.
And the video component too. The editing takes time, the production takes time, inviting guests on takes time. Everything adds up.
Right.
So
Right.
most of the time people create series instead of I'm going to podcast for life and this is the start,
Right.
right? Since this should be theoretically a resume piece, this could be a
Hmm.
portfolio piece, then what I would do is I'd get really narrow on specific on what you want to create and how you want to create it. Because you can
Okay.
always add to this later when you have time,
Okay.
because it's a part of getting a job in the sense that you're leveraging your podcast to show to a potential employer that you have the chops for that job.
Okay, cool. So I saw the video on for because now it's like one now that I've got like those three things done. Like the next step is like getting started with Adobe Express and YouTube. So like this is where I have to create the web page. And like these are all the instructions that are gonna help me do all that. Yes.
This is your introduction web page. This is not for your target audience. This is for the class.
Okay.
This is kind of like an internal company document that
Okay.
explains you and where you want to go and your purpose. This isn't really
Okay.
for public consumption. This is
Okay.
more getting your thoughts down and your strategy down about who you are, what your purpose is, and how you want to present your podcast.
So I'll just watch that video and it'll show me like which one I what I need to do to create a web page. I think
Yeah.
I kind of started
Oh yeah,
looking
Adobe
at that.
Express is super simple to use.
Okay.
So it
Okay.
shouldn't, the learning curve there is nothing like Adobe Premiere Pro
Okay.
or Adobe
Okay.
Audition.
Yeah.
It's meant for, elementary school students to be able to use. So if you have any problems
Okay.
with that, there's great YouTube videos too.
Okay, perfect. So I just didn't know if there was anything like a specific template you wanted us to use, or if as long as it's a web page, then that's fine or
Yeah.
whatnot. Okay.
Yeah, it's a web page and it has those things on it. It has your ikigai with
Okay.
your purpose pitch, and then
Uh-huh.
it has a little introduction about yourself. Like there's an outline on that page, and basically you just follow that and you speak to each point in that outline.
Okay. So that would is that like kind of the outline I showed you that I did? Is that what
Yeah,
because I thought that was just for the video.
yeah, so that is for the video, but the video
Oh,
goes
but
on
there's
that
this
page.
yes, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the video goes on that page and then we have to put our outline too on there,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah, we
okay.
want the outline
Okay.
so we can follow along. Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool,
And
cool.
again, it
Okay, I can do that.
doesn't have to be word for word. It doesn't have to be, oh, she said this and not that in her purpose pitch. No, we're just looking
Hmm.
for the basic formula. And I had a question the other day, hey, do I have to say exactly this order in this way? No,
Hmm.
you can change your cadence, you can change your rate, your pitch, your tone to fit your show
Right.
if you'd like, because it's great practice for whenever you actually do start making trailers in episode 1 and 2.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right then. Well, I will just keep following along. But
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that I'm not because I was aware. I was like, I feel like I'm so far behind. Like it's gonna be Wednesday and I'm stuck on this one thing still. So and like I was like, I haven't even looked at module one yet. So I feel better knowing that I
Yeah.
have like I since I haven't even looked at all that stuff yet that like it's cool.
Yeah.
Like I want to try to get it all done.
Yeah, skimming ahead actually helps people with their podcast pitch on module
Okay.
1 because there's stuff in there that
Okay.
will help you to develop your show. And
Okay.
then skimming ahead, and I do mean skim. Like I click on this, I'm just skimming for any key things that might
Yeah.
help me think about what I want to do with my show, but don't get it too deep into it because that's our next assignment. And
Right.
you'll have time to get deeper into it then. Some of the things, like for example, in the storytelling modules, will help you create a better trailer, right?
Okay.
Like those sorts of things are connected, but
Okay.
looking ahead to the assignments, I think will give you more ideas on where we're going and what actually is due.
Yeah, because I'm currently on this one
Yeah,
and
and you gotta knock out your introduction and your podcast purpose pitch before you move on
yeah.
to creating a trailer, right?
Yeah,
Like
because I
you
have
gotta know
to,
where you're
yeah,
going.
so I got to do that and then look at the paths to connection video and then there's all the AI resources and but then it like kids in the module one. So it's like, yeah, the video content, the chapter reading, podcast, charts for inspiration. And okay, so yeah, the video reflection and behind the scenes, that one I got to look at and then the
Yeah.
module one discussion assignment. Okay.
Yeah, and that one, the first one's fun because it's, oh, what if I did an audio drama? And basically it's a video that I put early to dissuade people from doing audio dramas because you only have eight
Okay.
weeks. And it takes about eight
Yeah.
weeks to organize an audio drama because you've got to
Yeah.
like get the right voice characters, and it's a team sport, really,
Hmm.
as opposed to an individual. I'm just calling one person to interview them. I have to
Yeah.
call like the entire cast, right? And create a
Yeah.
real a real kind of theatrical production. So that's why we don't have
Yeah.
that kind of assignment in this class because we only have 8 weeks.
Oh yeah, for sure. No. So okay, because a lot of these are all, like that's readiness stuff, AI resources, cool. And okay, so basically, so I'm not doing too bad now that I'm looking at it. Like,
Not at all. The thing
do
to prioritize after you have completed
hmm
your introduction, your purpose pitch, and all that kind of thing is that
yeah.
persona creation. You're not working
Okay.
on the trailer before you work on the persona because we want to know who we're talking to and get
Yeah.
as specific as possible. And it's so
Okay.
difficult to get those surveys back that it's really important to do the interviews. And I
Okay.
usually try to hold an interview session where we can do quick fire breakout rooms with people. Uh,
Okay.
but usually people like to do their own too. So,
Yeah.
just DMing someone and saying, "Hey, can I do a quick interview with you for my podcast? Because I
Yeah.
need people, you know,
Yeah. I can just steal my husband. Hey, I need you for 30
that
minutes.
too."
Come
Yep.
sit down. Is it cool if I probably easy, well, I don't know if it's easier to maybe throw it in the group meet or email the equipment I have and get your thoughts on that to
Sure.
use? Okay,
Of
cool.
course.
I'll
Yeah.
send you that. I need to pull it out of the box since I
Yeah.
threw it since we stopped.
Yeah. The higher level you start at, the better, obviously. If you can get a
Mhm.
good mic, that's fantastic. But
Yeah, I have
for
all
our
that.
purposes, you really don't. Like what you're using now with your
Oh, my headphones.
headphones. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, we put that into Adobe Enhance Audio and it will make it sound way better. So
Yeah.
it's passable. But if you have a good mic or you can get a cheap mic that you can have for the course, that's going to help you in other parts of your production processes too. Because if you want to be a broadcaster, you got to have that good mic.
So I guess for recording like on the phone,
Mhm.
it's just going to be recording with like the mic and stuff.
Yes, that's something to figure out and something to figure out early. And
Okay.
it's fun to figure it out for your introduction video, but totally not absolutely
Okay.
unnecessary because the introduction video is more, again, for our private course audience. It's not for your
Okay.
public audience.
So I could just literally just use my computer
Oh yeah,
and do
what
it
we're
this
doing now is
way.
great for an introduction video. Absolutely.
Okay. Oh, okay,
People use
cool.
Zoom, it's all good.
Okay.
But for your podcast, if you want to connect your phone to your digital audio interface,
Hmm.
that might take some research and some Amazon cord purchases. There's a TRRS cable involved that
Okay.
connects from the phone to the dongle that connects to the actual audio interface so that you can use your good mic on your phone recording, for example. And
Well, what
again, this
about
is
the OB? Well, what about the OBS? Is it that one? Isn't that what it's called? OBS?
yeah, and that'll work
Yeah,
too. And
I
that'll
have that.
open good. That'll open up sources on your computer. But if you
Yeah.
don't have your audio interface connected to your computer, then
Yeah. No, I
OBS can't use that as a source, right?
yeah.
So yes, you could absolutely just use your computer instead of your phone. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have all the connections. I bought the whole little audio interface. I
Nice.
bought the mic. I have all the connections to my computer.
Go you, you're ready. Well, broadcast journalism requires a level of professionalism. So your
Yeah.
goals are different from other people in the course who may not need all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. All right, cool. All right, well, that makes me feel so much better because I was getting a little stressed out last night. I was like, oh my God. I thought
Yeah.
I was getting ahead and I feel like I'm getting behind.
Yeah, that's totally natural to feel, especially because wait a second, I have to figure out how to do my survey, but I haven't even finished my introduction video yet. And the truth is, you want to do it that way because the earlier you get that survey out, the more data you can get back, so you can work on your introduction video.
So
Uh,
which one is the survey?
so that's connected to the audience persona assignment because you want to build a detailed avatar or persona of who it is you're talking to. And the way we do that is by creating a good survey using good research methods and doing interviews. So we have the quantitative and the qualitative to come together that we can then create a good persona from. Our actual structure of the course is introduction video and then persona. And the interviews and the surveys are all both connected to the persona.
Yeah, okay, nope, I
Yep.
see it. Yep, for
Yeah.
sure.
And then
Okay.
looking ahead, we have our trailer and then we have our interview assignment, which is not for public consumption. And then we have episode
Yes.
one where you get to do solo plus editing the interview to create one piece. That's why it's important to look ahead so that you can schedule the interviews because you're not only doing
Yeah.
interviews for your persona, but you got to do an interview for your podcast. And that takes time to line up. So I'm
Well,
glad you got it
yeah.
lined up.
Cool. Okay, well then that makes me feel so much better. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I
No problem.
appreciate it.
Yeah. And if you need anything else, you'll let me know, right?
You know it.
Fantastic. All right.
Okay.
Well, have a good one. Good luck
You
and
too.
keep me posted.
Sounds great. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.